The sanctuary amber glows with the residue of a day spent in devotion, where the scent of beeswax mingles with the damp coats of those who gather in the 7 o'clock gloaming. We are the Sunday night remnant, the tired lungs and the earnest hearts, standing on the precipice of the great coming, while the city hums its indifferent anthem beyond these stone walls. Here, the score rests on music, stands like white birds awaiting flight, carrying the weight of Michael's melody and the ancient dust of the Judean wild. It is a summons that begins in the diaphragm and ends in the stars, a visceral vibration of comfort whispered first by the wind through the cedar branches, and now amplified by the collective breath of a choir that knows the exhaustion of the world. We lean into the cadence, our voices weaving a tapestry of longing that stretches back to the Babylonian exile and forward to the morning star that has not yet risen above the horizon of our waiting. Beneath the vaulted ceiling, the command resonates to make straight a highway in the arid wastes of our own indifference, to saw down the peaks of pride and lift the sunken trenches of our despair. We sing of topography turned holy, of tectonic shifts in the spirit, where the rugged terrain of a broken life is plain smooth by a grace we cannot manufacture. The flute traces a line like a swallow over a dry creek bed, and we follow its ascent, mindful that our flesh is but grass, and our constancy like the wildflowers of the meadow that succumb to the first sharp frost. Yet as the ink on the page catches the dimming light, we affirm that the word of our God is the only architecture that it does not crumble, the only foundation that remains. When the echoes of our Sunday evening service have dissolved into the quiet of the coming week, we are the heralds of a wilderness that is not a place of desolation, but a laboratory of the soul, where the silence is finally loud enough to hear the approaching footsteps of the one who comes to govern with a strong arm and a shepherd's heart. How tenderly the melody cradles the promise of the lambs gathered into a divine embrace, held close to the chest of the infinite, where the shivering stops and the journey finds its rest. Our harmonies are the bandages we wrap around each other's wounds, a polyphonic balm that declares the warfare is ended and the iniquity is pardoned by a double measure of mercy. In the 7 p.m. stillness, we are no longer just accountants, teachers, or laborers, but conduits of an ancient prophecy that demands a highway be carved through the stone of our stubbornness. We feel the pull of the rhythm, the gentle but insistent thrumming that mimics the heartbeat of an expectant mother, the rhythmic labor of a world groaning for its deliverance. Each note is a stone laid in the path, each rest a moment of breathless anticipation, as we prepare the way for the glory that shall be revealed to all flesh together. A vision so blindingly beautiful, it requires the dimness of this late hour to be even partially understood. The shadows grow long in the nave, stretching out like the vast plains of the Arava, and we lift our eyes to the heights of Zion, where the messenger stands with a voice that must not falter. We bid our fear depart into the darkness of the vestibule. For the Lord God comes with power, not to crush but to nourish, leading the nursing ewes with the patience that outlasts our shortest days and longest nights. Our choir is a small flame in the Advent frost, a flickering testimony that the desert will bloom and the parched land will bubble with springs of living water. As the final chords hang in the air, vibrating against the stained glass and the wooden pews, we carry the desert within us, but a desert that has heard the news of its own transformation. We walk out into the Sunday night, the melody's still humming in our marrow, certain that the voice which cried out in the wilderness is now the voice that guides us home through the cold, toward the warmth of a stable that will soon contain the fullness of the Word made flesh. The mountains may smoke and the hills may depart, but the resonance of this evening stays rooted in the furrowed ground of our communal song. We have seen the glory in the ink and heard the herald in the alto sigh. And though the grass withers under the weight of the coming winter, the song we practiced at 7 p.m. is an evergreen vine climbing toward the light. We are the voice in the desert, not because we are loud, but because we are hollowed out, to let the Spirit blow through us like a flute of bone, calling the scattered people to a feast that has been prepared since the foundation of the world. In the silence of the walk to the parking lot, the Isaiah 40 promise lingers like a fragrance, a reminder that every valley of our week is already being filled by the God who measures the heavens with a span and carries the broken in his bosom. Upon the emerald crest of Algestro, where the silence of the flint meets the ancient breath of the home oak, a light more piercing than the noonday sun carved its path through the mundane azure of May. It was not the jagged anger of a storm's electric tongue, but a cataract of uncreated fire, a liquid crystalline brilliance that washed over the 3 small shadows of Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. This was the inaugural tremor of a celestial symphony, a visual hymn that found its first notes in the terrified yet transfixed hearts of shepherds. The Covida Iria, once a mere fold of earth for wandering flocks, became the navel of the world, an altar where the sky bent low to kiss the dust of Portugal. There she stood, clad in a mantle of whitest wool woven with the threads of eternity, her feet resting lightly upon the gossamer breath of the tree's crown, her presence between the ticking clocks of men and the timeless pulse of the divine. She carried the weight of the world's sorrows within the hollow of her immaculate heart, yet her countenance was a testament to a peace that surpasses the understanding of kings. Her hands joined in a perennial gesture of supplication, clutched a chain of stellar pearls, the rosary, that rhythmic ladder of orisons designed to climb the steep cliffs of human frailty. Each bead was a drop of dew, destined to extinguish the fires of war. Each decade a battalion of roses marched against the encroaching shadows of a century that would soon learn the cold geometry of iron and ash. She spoke not in the thunder of Sinai, but in the soft melodic cadence of a mother who knows the secrets of the future, warning of a second darkness while pointing toward the morning star of conversion. The air around her was saturated with the fragrance of unseen lilies, a perfume that defied the arid landscape and whispered of a garden where the thorns of sin had been forever pruned by the shears of grace. Now, as the calendar of the faithful turns its pages toward the 13th of May, in the year 2026, the bells of the world begin to stir in a collective, bronze-throated anticipation. The distance between the 1900th year of her first visitation and this coming spring is collapsed by the persistence of her promise. We stand in the nave of history, watching the stained glass of our era catch the same light that once dazzled the eyes of the children. The crown we offer her is not merely one of beaten gold and stolen gems, but a diadem of collective sighs, a coronation of the broken who have found healing in the shadow of her white veil. The hymns we compose are the echoes of her own Magnificat, recalibrated for a digital age that still hungers for the analog truth of the Spirit. We sing to the Lady of the Rosary, the Queen of Peace, who stands at the crossroads of our anxieties, her fingers still tracing the beads that weave the safety net of the world. Let the music swell in the vast cathedrals and the humble chapels alike, a tidal wave of Marian devotion that surges from the shores of the Atlantic to the farthest reaches of the human heart. Let the roses of Fatima be cast upon the waters of our troubled time, their petals carrying the scent of a hope that refuses to wither. We remember the miracle of the sun, the terrifying dance of the celestial disk that prove the heavens are not indifferent to our plight. And we ask for a similar movement in our own frozen souls. May the 13 days of May be a corridor of light, leading us back to the source of all harmony, where the Queen of Fatima awaits with her arms open like the gates of a sanctuary. In 2026, the message remains as urgent as the first flash of lightning over the home oak, a call to penance, a plea for prayer, and the unwavering assurance that in the end, the white mantle of her love will cover the entirety of our wounded earth, turning our dirges into a timeless hymn of restoration. The thumb finds the grain of the first cedar bead, where the wood meets the silver of a hanging cross, and the world begins to dissolve into the cadence of a singular breath. This is the architecture of the unsaid, a cathedral built of repetition, where 12 voices rise like pillars of smoke from an altar of silence. It starts in the hollow of the palm, a tactile geography of grace that maps the distance between the finite heart and the infinite sky. We begin not with words, but with the weight of the string, a tether to the shore, for those who are about to drown in the sapphire depths of contemplation. The first hymn is the scent of the crushed lily in the dawn of an empty room, a vibration of fiat that trembles through the marrow of history. It is the sound of an angel's wing brushing against the limestone of Nazareth, a gold-threaded melody that promises nothing but the beautiful burden of a God made small. Here, the prayer is a cool spring, a draught of peace for the scorched throat of the wanderer. We walk the hills of Judea with a secret folded in the womb, feeling the quickening of a promise that outshines the sun. The rhythm of the walking is the rhythm of the beats, a steady thrumming of sandals on dust, a steady thrumming of blood in the temple of the Spirit. Then the light shifts, turning from the pale white of the morning to the honeyed amber of the miracle. We stand where the jars are filled to the brim with the water of our common days, watching as a mother's gaze turns the liquid into the vintage of the kingdom. The meditation deepens now, entering the realm of the numinous, where the taber light blinds the mortal eye and reveals the transfigured face of love. These are the songs of the luminous, the melodies of the mountain and the lake, where the peace offered is not the absence of storm, but the authority to walk upon the waves. We breathe in the incense of the transfiguration and breathe out the dust of our own mortality, cleansed by the fire that does not consume. But the roses of this prayer are not without their thorns, for the path of the rosary leads eventually to the shadow of the olive grove. The music turns somber, a minor key played on the strings of a broken heart. We feel the damp chill of Gethsemane, the salt of the sweat that falls like rubies upon the parched earth. Here the prayer is a shield, a powerful Marian song for the soul that sits in the darkness of its own betrayal. We watch the purple dawn of the passion, the scourging of the innocent, the weight of the crossbeam that groans with the sins of 1,000 generations. Each beat is a tear, each hour a stitch in the shroud of the world's grief. We stand at the foot of the wood, silent in the presence of the Mater Dolorosa, learning that the deepest peace is found in the surrender to the absolute mystery of sacrifice. Yet the circle does not end in the tomb, for the 12th hymn is a triumphant shattering of the ossified gates of death. The air is suddenly thick with the perfume of the resurrection, a golden vapor that rises from the empty linen. The meditation ascends now, soaring on the wings of the Assumption, following the trail of sapphire and pearl, as the Queen is lifted into the heart of the Trinity. The music is a celestial polyphony of 12 stars that crown the head of the woman, clothed with the sun. It is the peace of the final arrival, the meditation of the soul that has finally found its home in the everlasting garden. Between the decades, in the holy pause, where the glory fades into the next mystery, there is a silence so profound it seems to hold the entire universe in its hands. This is the core of the rosary, the center of the rose where the petals meet. It is a stillness that is not empty, but pregnant with the presence of the one who pondered all things in her heart. To pray these 12 hymns is to weave a garment of light for the naked spirit, to find a sanctuary of rhythm amidst the chaos of the passing hour. The beats click like the ticking of a cosmic clock, but they measure not time but eternity. They are the ladder of the humble, the weapon of the peaceful, and the song of the transitated, who knows that every breath is a gift and every amen is a return to the source of all love.
The shadows of the vaulted nave lengthen toward the altar, where the Sunday sun yields its final amber ghost to the coming dusk of 7 o'clock. Here, within the hollowed silence of the late hour, the choir breathes as a single lung, inhaling the scent of extinguished beeswax and exhaling the ancient narrative of the furrow and the grain. We stand in the gloaming of the Sabbath, carrying the weight of the week's labor, gathered like stalks of wheat, leaning toward the sickle of the Spirit. The air is thick with the resonance of Dan Fighton's melody, yet it transcends the printed page to become a living pulse, a heartbeat of organic grace that recognizes every soul in this dim sanctuary as a plot of earth, some tilled by sorrow and others hardened by the relentless treading of worldly feet. The great sower moves through the aisles of our collective memory, his hand a rhythmic pendulum swinging against the horizon of our poverty. There is a wildness in the scattering, a divine prodigality that does not measure the cost of the lost grain, but celebrates the possibility of the germinal miracle. We watch the seed fly in gilded arcs through the vespertine light, landing with the softness of a whisper upon the very terrains of the human condition. Some falls upon the callous stone of the heart that has forgotten how to weep, where the heart packed soil rejects the intrusion of tenderness, and the winged scavengers of doubt descend to carry away the promise before it can even taste the dew. Oh, the tragedy of the path where the word lies exposed, a shallow offering for the winds of cynicism to scatter into the void. But the hand moves on, relentless and hopeful, flinging the potential of the kingdom into the thickets of our modern thorns. We feel the constriction of the briars, the choking grip of the anxieties that bloom at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. The looming Monday, the debts unpaid, the clamor of the digital world that strangles the quiet sapling of faith. Yet even here, the seed struggles for a foothold, its pale roots searching for a sliver of mineral mercy amidst the tangled vines of our distraction. The choir's harmony rises like a petition against the weeds, a polyphony vine that climbs toward the clerestory windows, seeking the last vestige of the light. We sing not of a sterile garden, but of the messy, rocky, and beautiful struggle to become something that can nourish a hungry world. There is a lithic resistance in the shallow earth, where joy springs up with a sudden, frantic greenness only to wither when the noon of trial demands a deeper draught of water than the thin soil can provide. We recognize ourselves in that fleeting fervor, that Sunday evening resolution that lacks the subterranean strength to endure the Tuesday drought. And yet the composer's vision compels us deeper past the limestone shelf of our ego into the dark and damp mystery of the good ground. To be the good soil is to be broken, it is to be turned over by the plowshare of repentance until the interior dark is exposed to the sky. It is in this rich black yielding that the seed ceases to be a solitary thing and begins its slow, agonizing and glorious transformation into the bread of life. The grain must die to its singular shell, surrendering the safety of its husk to the crushing embrace of the earth. For only in that dissolution can the harvest be born. As the choir's voices swell in the final cadence, we are no longer merely singing of a parable, we are becoming a metaphor. We are the wheat gathered from the thousand hills of our individual lives, brought to the threshing floor of the liturgy, to be winnowed of our chaff and ground into the flour of communion. One bread, one body, one journey from the scattered handful to the unified loaf. The Sunday 7 p.m. air is now heavy with the incense of possibility, the realization that the sower has not finished his work, and that even now, in the quietest corner of the most broken heart, something is beginning to stir. Something is pushing through the dark. Something is yielding 100-fold under the gaze of the setting sun.
The amber wick of the 7th hour trembles against the cooling stone of the nave, where the day exhales its final gilded breath. We stand in the gathering gloaming, not as masters of the morning, but as stewards of the twilight, carrying the residue of the week's dust upon our sandals, and the weight of our brother's silence within our own throats. There is a specific gravity to this Sunday evening, the density of spirit that Richard and Betty once captured in the simplicity of a wooden flute and a heart laid bare. It is the geometry of the basin and the towel, the architecture of the bended knee that defines our gathering here beneath the vaulted shadows.
We are a tapestry of callous palms and weary eyes, woven together by the singular thread of a promise that we shall not walk the jagged path of the world in isolation.
The air is thick with the scent of extinguished beeswax and the lingering echo of the Gloria. Yet here in the quietude of the 7 p.m. choir, the music becomes a living sinew, a ligament of grace that binds the broken to the whole. To be the servant is to relinquish the ivory tower of the self and descend into the fertile valley of the other. It is to recognize that the Christ light we carry is not a torch for our own illumination, but a lantern held steady for the one whose oil has run dry in the thickets of despair. We look across the pews and see not strangers, but reflect